Hello, welcome to this video. This is a wrap-up reading for July 2023. My name is Allie with Amory Speaks, and I have readings every Friday in case you don't follow along and you just found this over on YouTube or BitChute. I have a Telegram channel, Amory Speaks, with the link in the description, excuse me. Where every Friday I do a card reading from my Saints and Angels Oracle deck. Also, at the beginning of every month, I pull a tarot card from my Aquarian deck, and that gives us like a theme that we'll be working through for the month. And then every Friday we have the Saints and Angels coming through, giving us support and guidance on how best to work with the theme and what would be coming up around that. And so this month, just in case people are new, July's theme has been the Four of Pentacles. And we have had 3 messages already come through for the month with beautiful working. I know myself personally, I've had a ton of truly synchronistic, very obvious, signs that have been so interlinked with the cards that really I felt it was important to do this end of the month reading. I haven't done a wrap-up reading in maybe 2 months, I think. Don't quote me on that. Time is relative. But I thought this month has had so much momentum. There is a lot of energy in the collective and with the changes and shifts that are going on. I just thought it was a good time. And also today is the 27th. We're in this last week of the month. The 27, combines into a 9, which the 9 is a great collective sort of overall card number about boundaries and closing them and, coming to endings and all of that, completions. So I just thought it was a great day to do it and to ask the cards to give us a little bit of insight on or reflection on how we have worked through the messages this month, and maybe giving us a bit of advice or support if we need it for these last couple of days as we're moving now into August. So I have my cards out already. I have a couple of crystals here that I was sitting with this morning, just connecting and asking and thinking a lot about, the themes that we've been working with this month. And so I'm going to just hop into the reading right away here. I know if you are familiar with Saints and Angels, usually I do like a nice grounding and stuff. But my time's kind of limited this morning, and where I am just coming out of my morning routine with meditation and breath work and very centered and calm already, I just think it was the perfect time to just jump right into it today. So I don't have 2 cameras set up, obviously. I'm not going to share a screen and show the reading while I do it. So let me just quickly, for anyone who isn't familiar with my wrap-up readings, I usually do a 4-card spread. I really love this spread for many different things, but for the monthly wrap-up, it allows the cards and spirit to really talk about whatever they would like to in a really conclusive way. And what do I mean about that? Each card in a spread has a place setting, and that place setting has a role, and the cards will give you a message based on what the role of the place setting is. And so for this 4-card reading, the first card is simply a representation of what the cards want to speak about at this moment. The angle of perception that they're viewing us at right now, and what is shining most brightly to them, that they feel called to speak on, that they feel called to point out, acknowledge. and the rest of the cards kind of flow through this card. The rest of the message will flow through the card. The second card, I put usually horizontally underneath the first, and I will put a picture too. I'll put a picture in YouTube community tab and over on my Telegram after the reading. So if anybody wants to look at it and see the cards for themselves, it can be really helpful to see them laid out in the spread. So I will do that. The second card, horizontal, is usually something like the obstacles that have been placed in front of us. And they will tell us, or they'll give us a message of, did we move through these obstacles well? And are they congratulating us and wanting us to look back and say, oh, we did these things really well, and give us a pat on the back? Or perhaps it's obstacles that they're reminding us that we could look at and say, well, I could have done better. I didn't do X, Y, and Z. I didn't face this as honestly as I could have, or, I hid from this, or I avoided something. It could be obstacles in that sense as well that they want to remind us of and sort of give us another sort of pat on the back. It's okay that you didn't get through these, but remember them, because they are important. Whatever the card is, it'll speak to you. But also, it's beautiful, and remember that this is a collective reading as well. So the messages are general for the whole month as well. The third card is on the left-hand side of the first, and that usually has to do with things that we've been working through the whole month, or things from the recent past that are coming and going to be pulled in to the present and to be mindful of. Now, whether it's something that is a lingering wound that we're going to have to keep redressing, sort of, or whether it is a sort of memory or souvenir that we want to bring with us, to hold with us and empower us. There's two different flavorings depending on how the card sits with you. But that's the gist of the setting for the third card. And the fourth and final card is kind of what we will be presented with in the near future. What all of the workings have led us to for the end of July. And really their true feeling of how we've moved through July. And how we will continue that momentum or energy to move into August. Okay, so that's the beginning of where we're going here. And I'm going to just quickly ask our saints and angels, spirit, source, the higher selves, fairies, elementals, God, Mother Earth, all of those beings of light and love, of higher frequencies and densities, who witness our journey here with us. We ask for your support and guidance, for any sort of advice or references that you could give us in regards to this beautiful month of July that we have all been moving so gracefully through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just going to shuffle my deck a bit. Oops. Oh, we got card 1. 5 of Cups. Oh, sorry, my lighting. It's terrible. 5 of Cups. Wow. Such an interesting card. Now, that one popped right out, but I'm going to cut my deck for the rest. 2 and 3 and 4. Wow. Okay, so for our first card, like I said, we have this 5 of Cups. Card number 2, we have the 4 of Swords. 3, 6 of Swords. Sorry for my shadow. It's very cloudy here today, and I had to have a bunch of lights to even be able to have good lighting. And the fourth and final card, the Page of Cups. Wow. 2 cups, 2 swords. What a balancing. What a dance between that I'll just first comment on here is just the thematics of the cards of tarot and this beautiful balancing of a 4 card spread coming out with 2 cups and 2 sword cards. That initial surface level look at is a balancing act between how we express and speak out our beliefs, our truths, our communications, and how that interacts with our social setting, with our relationships, with what we build around us, and how others see and view us, and how we are appreciated and acknowledged, how we build community, and what a balancing act in itself that really is. Comes with a ton of light and shadow. It comes with a ton of, the spectrum is wide and varied. Wow. And always a theme and always a strong message, I just feel like always comes from Source, is this beautiful whisper of seeking harmonious balances, of seeking that true homeostasis where all the systems are, sharing and transferring and all empowered to do it for their own, their own highest good. So, as the first card being the 5 of Cups, and this is our representation of right now for us, the present being, and what the cards want to speak about, right? The 5 of Cups, and this I really love, the depiction here on the Aquarian deck of the spilt cups and the 2 behind and the looking down at it. And it's like looking at the things that have gone wrong or the things that didn't turn out exactly as they could have, kind of crying over spilled milk. But look, we have full cups behind us. The real things that we didn't want to spill, that can never be spilled, that are truly to be meant to be taken with us, we have them. They're with us. They're right behind our back. If we just turn around, we will see and have the support we really need. All these things that spilt and were shook free are meant to be shook free in a 5. The 5 is a chaotic time. It is the shaking of the thing you're building, because you've built it with the 4, and now you must test what you've built. How well did you do it? And that's the catalyst, the obstacles of the 5. And all month we have been facing obstacles, facing little testing of boundaries, especially in that material financial world. That's really what the 4 of Pentacles reversed for our theme has been about. When we are tested, can we hone back to true north? Can we fix that foundation? Do we go in and Mickey Mouse it and put Band-Aids over it to fake cover and make the foundation appear to be solid because we made mistakes we don't want to accept and take apart and refix? Or are we going to do the real work to actually say, okay, there's cracks here, we have to start again? It's not that we're losing any energy or time or wisdom or experience points. None of these little knowledge points that we have learned through building 4 and the 5 breaks it all through the spilling of the milk. We learn tons of lessons through that. We don't lose them. It's not like, oh, now they're lost to us. They're not worth anything anymore. In fact, they're worth more when we go and reassess the 4 again and we reaffirm that foundation again. We can do it with even more knowledge points, and have it even firmer. That's the real message of the 5. So if you've noticed and you've felt yourself really wrapped up in that view of staring at those spilled cups on the ground, sort of, or focusing on the negatives, the things that aren't turning out as planned, or the things that aren't coming to fruition, or the things that, didn't work out and are broken, don't be afraid to turn around and remember what's behind you, what's inside you, what you do have. Shift your focus. And yeah, it's going to take effort. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit more labor from you, but it's worth it. Are you worth it? If you are, do it again. And if it's not, set it aside and go find what is worth it. And again, so moving into the second card with the obstacles that we've been facing and the things we've been working through or doing really well. This is the 4 of Swords, right? And when we see the 4 of Swords, It's those things that we believe are firm foundations, firm beliefs. And when those are shaken, when those are cracked, when we find holes in those, what are you doing with those? Are you going down to bare bones and reassessing? Or are you too scared to do that with your beliefs? Are you too scared to say, I've spoken out wrong? I've made incorrect conjectures. My hypothesis was incorrect, you know? And then to take it apart and to see what is correct or not. You know, these are the things that are coming out with a lot of us now. And myself individually, most certainly, I see it in the collective, in the responses of the mainstream and everything that's been happening lately. It's really, you know, coming to that sword energy, cutting things out that are BS, that are lies and distortions, pointing at them with the truth and saying this is what it is, and not being afraid to either. Excuse me. So the cards really want you and all of us to think about how we have worked through this, the Four of Swords all month. How are we building our beliefs? How are we speaking them out? And are we sharing them with that balance? Remember, 4 is about stability. It's about balance. It's not about all light or all dark either. It's about both. It's about a give and a take with your words. The sword isn't just about, you know, speech and communication outwards. It's about in processing, listening, the processing of how you take in communication as well. It's a two-way thing happening when we communicate, right? So are you doing that? Are you listening as much as you're speaking? That's another sort of role that you could be working through this month. Now into the third card here, the things from the past, from the whole month, and even possibly maybe from June, really, because the 6 of Swords is a synchronistic card for me of all of it, you know. But anyways, to pulling things from all this month through. The 6 is about perseverance, right? It's about having directionality, knowing the end point, and even its insight. You know, we know we're getting there. And if you look at here with the picture of the boat, this is interesting to me, and I love the depiction here because there's holes. The swords are stuck in the boat, right? There's only a certain amount of time that you can to get to the next shore. He has his eye on where he's going. You know that there's a river crossing and you're going to make it there. But there's also this sort of pressure of time and this sort of courage and guts required to keep going because you've just come through 5. You've just come through the shakeup. You've just seen, you know you've got holes in the boat, so to speak. But you also have determination to make it where you're going. There's also plenty of possibilities that you're going to reach that shore, you know. There's the faith and trust required to keep it going. And so that's really what the message of the cards here is. Tap into your faith and trust in the end game of your beliefs, right? This is all swords too. It's such a strong message here. It really is. It's holding on to things that are true to you, anchoring into those true knowings that have persevered through the shakeups, those things that you learn at rock bottoms, those things that you have learned through absolute destitution, what sticks with you, you know, those things that can't be lost are all represented within the 6 of Swords. And so holding tight to those while we move through the chaotic times, right, is really what the cards are speaking to and want us to remember. And as we get into the 4th card, oh, I'm so sorry, we've got commercials in my television. The 4th and final card, the Page of Cups. And wow, the knowing, and they want us to see and understand the next steps, and that all of this work, all of the truth, all of the shifting and the reaffirming and getting yourself right and aligned in the directionality that you want to go is really going to take off. It's going to open up this whole new world of what the page feeling really is. It's the first of the face cards, right? It's the step out of numerology and into archetypal understandings. It is all of the work has been put in to build up to the numbers. You have a whole building of happenings that have already occurred. And that puts you in this sort of new level that is the face cards, that is, the page, the knight, the king, the queen. This is a new step up to where we have a chance to really, make new friends, build new relationships, new communities, new societies, whole new ways of seeing and interacting and sharing, energy, communication, all of the things that fill cups up, basically, all those feel good, want to share, festivities, the celebrations, all of that is really going to come together and be birthed out of all of this, all of the changes, all of the honing back to the truth and building what's real for you and building what's honorable and honest and anchored to your, true north. So, wow, yeah. I'll show, I didn't actually put up the page card again, but I will show the page a little quick. And I really love this card as well, and I will say, with, the way that the fish and the page, sorry, you can't really see it, but because of the light I have here. But when I share it, I'll share pictures of the cards. But it's like a new friend that they've met in the cup. And it's something totally unexpected that you don't even think is like a possibility. It's totally out of this world. But it's a new friend. It's a new relationship. It's, it's unexpected. And that's what I really feel and see will be happening, and that we'll be bringing in, and that we should keep focused on and know that in the future this is coming. It will happen. But there's work to be done, and a refocusing that has to happen in the forefront, because we don't want to also get too ahead of ourselves and wrapped up in, beautiful potential possibilities of the page in the future. We also want to remember that the present card that they have us looking at right now is the Five of Cups. We're going to get to the Page of Cups. There's going to be this leap. And I really love how this is the balance. The present is the cups. The future is the cups. The obstacles in the past are the swords flavoring. And the things that we need to get over and work through are all mental. They're all about exchanges. They're all about how we cut through things, what we cut out, what we keep with us, and why, the intentions behind of those workings. And those, it will really bring in those beautiful, fruitful, full, overflowing relationships that the cups really sing for, that the cups really want to embody and hold. Refocus, remember on the truth of what those two full cups that you really do have behind you. Let go of the three spilt ones. Hone into your truth, and don't be afraid to hearken back to your original truths, to hearken into the basics, the four foundations of your real truths, and cut out the BS. Never be afraid to look at cracks. Never be too scared to see the things that you've built and see a couple of mistakes in there. It's not the end all be all. It's not throw the baby out with the bathwater here. Let's just go in and do that little masonry work in the cracks that need support at the time that they need to be done. That's the keys to moving through. And always anchor back to that 6, perseverance, the things that you can really tie into, the things that in your guts, in your heart, that you know will get you through, bring you through, and you know to be true. So this has been a beautiful, inspiring reading for the end of July. I really feel empowered. I'm super excited to see what's going to be up for August, what our theme's going to be. And we do have, actually, tomorrow is the final Friday, so we will have one more Saints and Angels card to speak on this. They can speak on the reading that we've done today, all the work we've done through July. And, and if you didn't miss last week's reading, remember this week's message has been optimism. So stay optimistic. Remember that the 5 is the now, but we are on the path to get to the page. Same suit, same direction. It's going to happen in the near future. We're going to get to that page energy in the cups. So stay optimistic, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow morning or afternoon, whenever it'll be up, whenever's good for you. But tomorrow we'll be on Telegram early Eastern time morning to pull a card and see what we have for the week to come. So thank you so much for watching this reading and for listening. Like I said, I will put links to the actual pictures so that people could take a look at them and see the spread as it is. Sometimes you see the spread sitting for yourself, and you get other little intricate messages that I missed that are directly for you. So if that interests you, be sure to check it out. I'd love to hear responses or replies or little newness, things I missed or you see differently. You can send me emails or put a comment if you want to share with everyone. Yeah, so thank you for your audience, and I will talk to you next time.